What exactly? Traps number 2 odor guarantee. Okay, we should get some of that. Yeah. It's craft time. Well, not really craft time. On this side, we're going to write in signs and miracles. Then down below, on this part of the chart, we're going to write belief and trust. And often what happens, or what people assume, is that the greater the signs, the stronger the belief and trust. So it goes similar to a trajectory like this, kind of in a diagonal upward direction. So often, signs and miracles that happen down here are like no signs, nothing is happening, and often we equate that with, well, if I'm not seeing any signs, then my belief is either non-existent or very small. But then the higher up we go, this is like dead, rising to the life sort of stuff, right? And over here, all the way on this end, is like a super believer, like you're just awesome. And we have this idea, this trajectory, that the more signs, the more prevalent signs we see, the stronger our belief will be. I hope this makes sense, because in our passage for today, we are seeing a lot of signs and wonders that God does, but God makes it very clear that His presence and the most important aspect of His revelation isn't necessarily in some massive, crazy, huge sign or miracle, but it's in the stillness of a whisper. You know, I've thought for myself, and I've heard other people say this about themselves as well, that if they were back in the time of the Exodus, let's say, and saw all the plagues that God brought upon Egypt, as well as the parting of the Red Sea, all these incredible, miraculous events, that they would for sure believe and trust in Jesus. The problem with that is there's an entire generation of people that were actually there and they actually saw it all happen and experienced it, and they still didn't believe in God. So with all that, today is day 167 in the vlog, and we're looking at 1 Kings 17 through 19. When you read 1 Kings 17 through 19, really this is covering the meatiness of the ministry of Elijah. Elijah was a prophet called by God, and remember, this is during a time when things were just a mess in Israel. But it's interesting because in this section we see God doing a lot of miraculous things. He provides for Elijah via crows while he is in the wilderness during a drought. You know, God uses Elijah to raise to life the widow's dead son, and also they are, even though they have just a little bit left, God kind of multiplies what they have, and they have their needs taken care of supernaturally. We have the infamous story of Elijah going against the other Baal prophets when they erect an altar and are sacrificing the bull on the altar, and the, Baal prophets are calling up to Baal saying, would you come consume our offering or receive our offering or manifest yourself in some way. It's just kind of funny here. He's like, maybe your God is on a journey, or maybe he's, pooping right now. Did he poop? Does God poop? I wonder if God poops. He pooped when And not only does God, when Elijah calls out to the one true living God, does he respond, but he responds in a pretty amazing way, a way that would be considered supernatural, like a sign or a miracle. Then when we're in chapter 19, you see Elijah flee due to his fear of being killed by Jezebel, and he goes to Mount Horeb or Mount Sinai, and the Lord, does all of these things. There's a strong wind, there's an earthquake, there's a fire, but then there's the whisper. And it was in the whisper that God revealed himself to Elijah. It wasn't necessarily in all the other things, although all those other things are, crazy. Like the wind's so strong that it pretty much took out part of the mountain, like earthquakes, fire, all these things. But it was in the whisper that God spoke to Elijah. It'd be tempting for us, much like what we were talking about earlier, to consider all these things that are happening to Elijah and be like, bro, why were you fearful in this moment? Especially at the beginning of chapter 19. You saw God do all these wonderful miracles. Like, in fact, you were just after the Mount Carmel incident that you all of a sudden are fearful and lacking this belief, it would appear. And I think it's just a reminder for us that the abundant presence of signs and miracles does not always equal stronger belief and trust in God. It causes us to come back to an important truth, really, as to why do we believe what we believe. It's because of some experience we had in the past and we're trying to replicate that experience so we get that same feeling. It could be because our parents believe the same thing and we've kind of grown up in this Christian culture and that's why we believe it, but we really don't know why we believe it. And I think that at the end of the day, our faith is grounded in truth. It's grounded in a variety of things. I think when we look at the world around us, science, things that can be observed in creation, it very clearly points to God and the Bible. And ultimately, it's the work of the Holy Spirit within our lives and Christ giving us this free gift of salvation. So I just encourage you today to consider those things. Don't trust in things that are unreliable for your belief and trust in God, but really ground yourself in truth, ground yourself in relationship with God. And as we do that, we'll be able to get through the crazy times we live in. Time to go home, change, and then we're off to Target to do some preschool shopping. Preschool supplies. Preschool supplies shopping for Justice. I just real quick want to show you this this setup I have for the previous scene. I got the camera hooked to the chair on the table, propped up by some books. It worked. I feel like I could spend enough time in Target to have an interesting enough vlog. Check this out. Exactly. Traps number 2 odor guarantee. Hey, we should get some of that. Yeah. Wait, you asked me which one you want us to get? Like, what did you ask? We should get the ones that say like plant-based organic, so they think that we're.
This is fine.
Whichever
right?
ones are the most expensive, because we know those are the best kind of wipes, and we want the school to think that we are good parents
It's horrible.
for our
We're
child.
good parents. It has nothing to do with what kind of wipes we buy.
Justice, I can't believe that you're going to be in preschool. What do you think about that?
Awesome.
It is awesome. I don't know if I'm ready for him to go to preschool just yet. The time has flown by. I can't believe he's in preschool.